It's on.
We give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Rakakagash. Double honor to the apostles that rule well. Salutation to the brothers in the four corners of the earth, which is truth and sincerity.
Yeah, so we're out here again, preach the good tidings to the nation of Israel, not to the other nations, because for the other nations, they're going to have a swift end in the last days, okay? And so, with the 2/3, but, you know, at the end of the day, we're out here for our people and our people only, okay? So, we're going to, first I want to bring a little, well, how do I say it? A little interaction I had with someone at my work job, you know. I was talking to this white dude, I forgot his name, but he was scared. He was really scared, and he said that America has always had up and downs in its economic growth. They always had declines and they had inclines. But he said it has never felt the way it feels now. And he looked very fearful. He said something doesn't feel right. You know, you could tell because for the past 3-5 years, you know, there's always some news about nuclear war. You know, it's like you see it on the news more and more. Before it was like you see probably at the beginning of the year, maybe more towards the end. Now you're seeing it constantly. These other nations are doing a lot of nuclear tests. Nuclear tests after nuclear tests. People are losing their jobs. Jobs are shutting down. What else? Prices are going up. You know, it's not looking good in the economy. I talked to some car salesmen, and they said that the next year is not looking good for them. They said it's not looking too good because of the way the economy looks. I talked to mechanics. They said that they're having a lot of slow days. They get paid off flat rate. And a lot of people are not really getting their cars fixed or getting their car service as they used to. You know, just because of the money that they have in their pockets. You know, when you don't have much money, you're going to pay for the essentials like food or your rent. You know, you have a problem in your car, you might not fix it right away if your car is still moving. So that just goes to show you that people aren't spending as much as they want to spend just because of how the price is going up. The gas went down a little bit, but it's not going down much more. I've seen the gas prices, they're pretty steady on, you know, 365, 375, depending on the location, but it won't drop below that $3. So I wanna let's start off with the scripture. Let's go to Daniel 12 verse 1, and then we're gonna jump to 4. Yeah, so I also saw another article. I forgot to save that one, but there's another article that said that America is going to be worse than the Great Depression, or it's going to be just as the Great Depression. And we know that wasn't good. You know, but this paper is not worth much. In our times, us as Israelites, we used to trade with, hey, I'll give you this corn for that pie, or I'll give you this horse for that cattle. That's real value right there. Or gold. Gold and silver has real value. But once the Federal Reserve came into play, you know, everything went topsy-turvy. You know, they kept the gold, and they gave those IOU notes, which is just paper dollar. You know, paper ain't nothing. You know, the most important value paper has is to write on it. You know, but as far as value goes, it's not good. And also, that interaction with that guy, he said America is about 80 trillion in debt. 80 trillion. He said it would take your great grandkids to pay off. That's how much debt it is. You know, it would take many generations to pay that debt back that America's in right now.
And so I said it was really more than that.
Yeah.
It was really more than that. But that's a lot of bread.
Shoot.
A lot of bread.
$1 billion. Shoot, $1 billion would be a lot to me right now. It's 80 trillion.
Man.
And like I always said, it might be more than that. So America's in a big pothole right now. But that's why Yahweh said that the snare that they set upon others, they're going to be caught in their own snare. And that's what's going on right now. Let's go to that. Daniel 12, verse 1.
Daniel 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
All right, that's a powerful scripture right there, and it kind of correlates with what this guy said to me. That it says, "There shall be a time such as never was." He said they'd never seen it like this before. The times that we're seeing, even though some of our people are still asleep, they're like, "Man, what's going on?" America's economy usually It goes up and down. But right now, the economy just seems to keep going down in the barrel. It don't seem to get any better for them. Verse 4.
But thou, O Daniel, shut up thy word and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
Right, so that shows that it's prophecy right there. It says knowledge shall be increased. We're seeing that because what the son of vision is being revealed. And you can talk to anyone, they'd be like, they would know that the rain is acidic. Well, especially in America. The other islands have, they have better rain or whatever. But America's rain is so polluted. And we notice how, because of all the chemicals that America's spewing out, like chemtrails and all that.
We got a lot of plants out here too. Lots of plants.
A lot of chemical plants, right.
Like when you taste Caribbean rainwater, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so quenching,
It feels like getting revitalized.
Yeah. You can even when you bathe in it, oh my God. It feel like your skin is being cleaned, and it's different from America water. Totally different, man. That rainwater is pure, man. It's pure. There's a lot of chemicals out here, a lot of carbon monoxide, a lot of power plants and industrial plants out here in America, man. So I wouldn't advise nobody to catch rainwater and drink it unless you have no other choice,
Yes, that's right. And also we've seen what happens when rain is polluted, because when America dropped those bombs in Japan, which was Fat Boy and Little Man, the radiation was so bad that when the rain would come down, this precipitation, the rain, the vapor, goes right back up. So when that rain kept coming back down, the rain was like black. The rain was, they couldn't even drink the rainwater.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening now, just at a slower rate. It's all the pollution we have. When that rain comes back down, it's not really as good as the former.
Yeah, this is like when it rains up and you come out and check your car. After a while, when it evaporates, it leaves a white residue. Even snow leave a white residue on your car. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you know that it has a lot of chemicals in the air, man. It's polluted.
Yeah, it's polluted, man. This place, I said, woe to the bloody sea. This place is defiled. It's been defiled ever since Esau, set their barnable cells on this land. They slaughtered the Aztecs, Incas, and the natives. Okay, I want to bring out some current events. This is from CNN. Okay, it says opinion: the Fed doesn't have a choice anymore. Get ready for a recession. And before I continue with that, let's look up the word recession, just so y'all can know what we're talking about. What most people does, for edification's sake. Recession ordinarily defined as prolonged decrease in economic growth, as defined by negative growth in GDP, increased unemployment, and slow business growth over at least 6 months. And it says at least 6 months. So that can go up into a year or, past that. So the key word right there was unemployment. What is unemployment? Well, simple. When people don't have employment, people start losing their jobs. People get laid off just like that. So I believe it was Abba here that told me a while ago that, saying about these jobs, we're always expendable. They see if they see how their money's looking, they could just pull you to off and say, hey, we can't, they might give you an excuse like, oh, your productivity or something, but they're really getting you out the company because they can't afford to pay you anymore.
This is October of the year 1929, right? It began after the stock market crash of October 1929, which went Wall Street into a panic and wiped out millions of investors, right? You know how they tell you, invest in stock, invest in this. But when the stock market crash, all your money gonna be gone, all your investment gonna be gone. Over the next several years, consumer spending and investment dropped, causing steep declines in industrial output. You mentioned something about GDP, right? That's gross data production, right? And there was another meaning to it too. Consumer spending and investment dropped, causing steep declines in industrial output and employment as failing companies lay off workers. right? So that was in the stock market crash in 1929.
Right, and that's just a taste of what's to happen. GDP, gross domestic product, the total value.
Domestic product, yeah.
The total value of all final goods and services produced in a particular economy. The dollar value of all final goods and services produced within a country's borders in a given year, or intermediate goods.
And the question that you ask is, what does America produce? They don't produce shit. A lot of things is produced in what? In China,
made in China,
Taiwan,
Japan,
Indonesia,
yeah.
and them countries don't produce nothing out here.
All the best things come from out there. That's why America's with the melting pot. Because all nations dwell in here. You know, you want good food, you probably go to a Mexican restaurant or the Indians. You know, you don't. When you really think about getting good food, you know, American standards, going to McDonald's or TGI, but when you really want good food, you don't go to an American restaurant. You go to somewhere that's foreign. Oh, let me go to the Mexican restaurant. Let me get some tacos. You got Taco Tuesday. Even pizza. Pizza's not really from America. You know, that's Italian right there. So all the good foods come from other countries. You know, that's why America's a melting pot. Means it has literally everything. You know?
Yeah. From fabric, from apparels, vehicles, everything, man. Like you said. You know, that's why everybody died to come to this country. You know. But now, it's the reverse. People fleeing back to their country, as the scripture said.
Yeah, that's true. They're seeing that what they got into was a mess.
It's like that white boy in your job. He said, yo, something is wrong.
Yeah.
He said, I see the economy go up and down, but this time, you never seen it like this.
Yeah.
And that's really good news.
That is good.
Yeah, we like hearing that shit from heathens.
Yeah, when they look fearful. Yeah, they see that their empire is falling. You know, that's a good thing for us. You know, to him, I was saying, you gotta be wise. I was like, yeah, it don't seem good or whatever. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, finally, your house putting fear into y'all, man.
Be good.
This is another quick piece I was looking up about the Great Depression. It says a high probability exists that the decade spanning between 2030 and 2040 will be one of lost opportunities, great economic distress, lost fortunes, deep regrets, and despair over what might have been. The trends we see are massive and have so much momentum that they will be difficult to change. Action is imperative. So basically, they said between 2030 and 2040. You know, we don't know the date or the hour. Hopefully it don't go on that long. But they said between those years, it's going to be a great economic distress. You know, it's going to go back into the Great Depression or even worse. You see, that Great Depression, that was just a taste of what Yahweh was going to give to this country, man. Yahweh was going to wipe this place desolate. You got something before I go back to the article?
Let me back you up. This whole chapter is beautiful. I don't know if you got it lined up in Zephaniah.
But I don't know.
Okay. Let's get into it.
All right.
Zephaniah 1:11. Right? Let's start at
I was supposed to put a line up with
9. Zephaniah 1, verse 9. In the same day also will I punish all those that leap on the threshold, which fill their master houses with violence and deceit. And it shall come to pass in that day, says Yahweh, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hill. Right? Then we discussed the Great Depression, the stock market crash in 1929. It said this one is going to be worse than ever, where it's going to lead to a third world country, man. It's going to lead to a third world country. It's going to be bad out here, man. And it's not going to get no better, right? That's where cannibalism is going to take place, right? Because these people are so accustomed to eating a fast food, and when they don't get it no more, they're gonna bug out. They're gonna bug out. So that's why you got to have Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai on your side, man. You got to have him, because he's going to be your what? Your fortress. He's going to be your refugee. And we need Yahweh Bashem Shai. And this worldly people, they don't need Yahweh Bashem Shai. They think they do everything by their own strength, by their own will. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't praise him on a daily basis. You know, we need the Most High and His beloved Son, man, to deliver us from the hands of our enemies.
That's true, but just what you were saying, Deuteronomy, I think chapter 18, Yahweh said that when you do get fortune or success, always praise Yahweh for it. But our people are just heathens. When they get success, they think they did it on their own.
Yes.
So it's by them.
You got more on that article, right, son? Because we can go in and out on this if you want.
All right, let's go back to. I
still got a lot of meat on this McTouch.
Opinion: the Fed doesn't have a choice anymore. Get ready for a recession. It says, I'm trying to get to the point. Too many economists and analysts, the U.S. economy has represented a paradox this year. On the one hand, GDP growth has slowed significantly, and some argue even entered a recession. On the other hand, overall employment growth has been much stronger than normal. While GDP declined at an annualized rate of 1.1 in the first half of 2022, the U.S. economy added 2.3 million jobs in the last 6 months, far more than any other six-month period. I'm going to read this other article. This gets more in depth. All right, this is another article about the recession. It says, prepare for a long and ugly recession, says Dr. Doom. The economics predicted the 2008 crash. So this is the same guy that predicted the crash in 2008. Okay? Dr. Doom is betting on a severe recession before the year is out.
They had Dr. Doom and
Avenger.
Dr. Doom.
Yeah, that's right.
Which he was an intelligent man, by the way.
Yeah, very intelligent,
But I think Dr. Doom was...
Yeah,
he got power tripped.
Yeah.
Right?
His weakness is arrogance.
The arrogance.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes, he saw it there.
Mm-hmm.
It says one of the first experts to forecast the 2008 recession is sounding the alarm bells that another big economic downturn is on the way. With recession fears in the U.S. mounting, many economists are predicting such a downturn as early as this year. Earlier this month, the Bank of America strategists wrote they expected a mild recession to hit sometime next year. Others, like former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, have been more bearish with their recession forecast, predicting that only a deep recession will be enough to fix the 40-year high inflation hitting the country. How are you going to bring more of that?
Let's go back to Zephaniah. Yeah, because right now we're going into economy reset. You know, economy reset is where they change tangible dollars and coins and make everything digital. That's what the Bitcoin was about.
Yeah, Bitcoin, currency.
Digital currency. That's what it's about, right? Because a lot of stores, some stores out here don't even take dollars and change, right? Now they're taking just straight cards. So card is going to evolve into what? Digital. Strictly digital, where they're going to put the MOTB in your right hand and your forehead, right? That's where we headed to, right? So this is Zephaniah 1:11. It said, "How ye, inhabitants of Mektesh, right? From all the merchant people are cut down, and they that bear silver are cut off." Right? So Mektesh was a market district in Jerusalem, right? Where people exchange, hey, take this fish and give me that loaf of bread. So that's what they used to do back in the days, or exchange. Say, yo, take the fish and I give you, what's that? Drachma, right? Drachma, which is this currency back in the days, right? So, but it was a popular place, like Wall Street in New York. So trading used to be real heavy back then. It said, and it shall come to pass at the time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their leads, right? Settled on their leads, which means brothers and sisters that's comfortable. Oh, I got this big house right here. I'm doing good. Like in Trinidad, in Westmore, you got jakes out there doing real good in Trinidad. But the Most High said, I will what? I will punish the men that are settled on their leads. You comfortable, right? That say in their heart, Yahweh would not do good, neither will he do evil. Right? You want me to pause right there?
Yeah. I can bring up some more.
Right?
Yeah. The debt problem. Okay, the debt problem. It says to fend off rising U.S. inflation, the Federal Reserve has implemented an aggressive series of interest rate hikes to put the brakes on the economy. The goal is to engineer a soft landing for the economy, where inflation returns to the Fed's target of 2% annual rate without triggering a prolonged economic downturn or significant rise in unemployment. So basically, really, this article is really just,
what did they drop the interest rate?
Yeah,
they dropped the interest rate again.
Right.
It's -0. They had the quantitative easing 1, 2, and 3. None of that shit ain't work.
Right.
Right? That's why the scripture said to get counsel from your procrastinators. Right? I forgot that scripture though. Right? About healing. Yeah, maybe I will heal thee.
Oh.
Right?
You talking about the incurable?
Yes. But America's not going to be healed.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe take balm, right?
Yeah, take some NyQuil, little.
Take some balm.
Yeah.
Right? Balm is a type of ointment that heals aches and pains and so on. Right? So he said take balm, so maybe I may heal you. But America's not going to be healed up. These places, you got too much blood that's been shed in this land.
Yeah, it's like trying to put a Band-Aid on a broken arm. Ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah. Trying to put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound.
Yeah.
You got shot by a 9mm. All right, put that Band-Aid. You're gonna be all right. Get the fuck out of here. You're gonna bleed to death.
Yeah, tremendously. And that's what America's doing with the economy. They're trying to put it into a recession, to fix the economy and all the inflation and all that. But there's no fixing America's economy. It's already crashed. They're just in denial that their empire is falling. But that's every great empire. Anytime they saw it falling, they tried their best to keep it afloat. Once it's over, it's over. You don't have any say-so in that matter.
Yeah, I mean, it started with what? The Assyrian Empire?
Yeah.
Right? The Assyrian Empire, who took down the Assyrian Empire? The Babylonians, Nebuchadnezzar. Right? They kind of migrated a little bit. But Babylonians was the top dog. Right? Here come the Medes and the Persians. They took down Nebuchadnezzar. Right? Then here come the Greeks. They took down the Medes and the Persians. Right?
Right.
Who took down the Greeks, the Roman Empire. They pretty much merged together, pretty much, because it was both Edomite empires.
Right, had the same God, just different names.
Yes.
I mean, that's really America too, because America really just resolved out of every empire before them. They got so many influences from every empire. Like, the gods they worship Molech and Baal. It's just a resolve. It's just combined, and it's just one great empire, which is America. I guess we can read more on this. It says this tight labor market and the rapid wage growth it has spurred is causing inflation to become more entrenched. The Consumer Price Index, which measures a basket of goods and services, was 8.3% year over year in August. That's lower than the 40-year high of 9.1 in June, but still painfully high. To address it, the Federal Reserve is likely to drive the economy into recession in 2023, crushing continued job growth.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people that I deal with, they got to work 2 jobs or they got to work a tremendous amount of overtime to keep their head above water. Because once you get that basic salary, you really can't do too much of that basic salary, that little 40-hour check. Now, when you throw some overtime in there, maybe you could do a little something. You know what I'm saying? So I deal with people on a daily basis. A lot of them got 2. I met one person got 3 jobs.
People getting 3 now.
She got 3 jobs to keep their head above water.
Yeah.
Because everything is going up. I had one lady the other day talking about how much a pack of chickens costs. A pack of chicken is like what, $20? When back in the days you get a pack of chicken for like $5-7.
I'm surprised.
Now it doubled and it tripled. Right? Wings is off the chart. I think Cat Williams said this. We have a shortage of wings, but we got plenty of thighs. Cat Williams.
anyways.
Yeah. Wings is the #1 seller in these restaurants, man. Wings, #1 seller. So what he's saying, he might be correct.
Right.
You know?
Right. Another part of his article says next year, however, will look very different. Many of these industries are still recovering from the pandemic. Will have reached pre-pandemic employment levels. But that's a good point right there too, because the pandemic, it kind of messed up a lot of these companies. Like, you know, people really weren't shopping out like that. So, I mean, I say DoorDash probably make the most money. People are at home, you know, they want something to eat, so they'll go to DoorDash. But a lot of small businesses got affected by the pandemic.
Oh man, big time, man. A lot of companies vanished because they couldn't keep afloat economically. You know, they only could have been sustained for like 3 to 6 months. After that 6 month ran out, hey, a lot of these businesses closed, right? They closed. So they had to hit dodge, so to speak.
I guess the scripture says the windows will be closed,
Yes.
the doors will be shut.
Yes.
That was just another prologue or a teaser trailer to what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because when America really shuts down, man, ain't gonna be no cars on the highway. It's gonna be like his death. It's gonna be like a ghost town, like an I Am Legend. You know, he was on top of a car. He was playing golf. He was hitting the other cars with the golf balls. That's what America's gonna look like.
I think on one of what Fear the Walking Dead, I think it had some money. One of those series.
I think it was a lot of them.
It had a bunch of money, $100 bills.
They'll burn it.
They'll burn it to keep warm.
Yeah.
You know?
No value.
Yeah, no value at all. Those are legal tender notes anyway. You know, a dollar is really worth 5 cents. You can't do too much with a dollar these days, man. You can't do too much with a dollar, man.
Yeah, in some states you can't get in Arizona. Arizona was always $1. Now in some states, Arizona, you know, the Arizona drink is $2 for the can, for the little can. It was always $1.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you how the kind of stuff. You see Arizona go up $1, you really got something to think about. You really got something to think about.
And Issa, what he does, right? Maybe like a bag of chips, right? Maybe big giant bags of Lay's.
Yeah.
What he doing? He might keep the same price for what it's 3 years, but the quantity of the chips has diminished.
Yeah.
Right? So, oh man, look at the price. It's still the same. But guess how much chips you get in there?
8.
You probably will get 10. Lucky. Lucky
8.
for a big bag of chips like that.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Oh, don't go in the vending machine. When you get those chips in the vending machine,
Man, yeah.
you lucky to get 5, right, boy? Like,
Yeah.
yo, what the fuck? Like, yo, $1.25 for this little Frito-Lays? You don't get shit for your money, man. Snickers is tiny. Anyway.
But that's true though, because like, you get these little, not even snacks anymore. They're like snack. They don't got the C in the K. It's a snack.
Like fucking mini size and shit.
Yeah.
Let me read this.
Yeah.
It said 13. Therefore, their good shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit it. And they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. Right? So yeah, you might be into real estate. You know, you might be established this business, but yeah. But the Lord said, hey man, you're gonna become a booty and a spoil, man. It said, I don't think this is the time to build a house from scratch, or it's not the time for that, man. But not inhibit them, and they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. The great day of Yahweh is near. It is near, and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of Yahweh. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. The day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of cloud and thick darkness, right? A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fit city and against the high tower. That's talking about America. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against Yahweh. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of them that dwell in the land.
And that scripture, that scripture hits it kind of dry because that's really the lesson right there. It talks about the market, the stock market, and then it goes into the nuclear destruction. And that's basically a blueprint or, a series of events of how it's going to do things. We don't know exactly, this comes first, but we know America's economy is going to collapse before those nukes hit. Those nations getting tired. That's what Senator Obadiah 1:7 says, that confederacy shall be against thee, if I'm quoting it right. These other nations, they're doing a lot of missile tests. What do you think they're doing missile tests for? And they're doing it because they're getting ready to nuke America, man.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that because the speedy riddance, and it's going to devour the land. And like Ip saying, these other countries is doing a lot of testing, right? So when you prepare for a test, right, especially when you're in high school or school, whatever, you prepare a test, you actually going to get the real test. That's the prep. The real test is what? Thermonuclear destruction against America. That's why I did a video on how Russia was bragging about a submarine. The submarine that they got is called Poseidon, right? It could be in water for 120 days, man.
Damn.
Right? But that Poseidon, what it does, it carries torpedoes, right? Torpedoes that cause tsunami. Torpedoes that could destroy lands, man, massive land. Because one torpedo is what? 2 megaton. The warhead is 2 megaton,
ready.
man.
Russia's ready.
Russia is ready, man.
They got the submarine.
Yup. So what's going on in Ukraine? That, according to Scripture, the Scripture said, those that was what? Peace with thee.
Yeah.
Right? So what? They're going to turn against it. Because they had a confederacy in Obadiah.
Yeah.
Right? But these other nations are going to turn against thee. So what's going on in Ukraine, that might be a trap for the United States to get involved. Right? So they can have an excuse to shoot missiles in this fucked up place right here. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Because that's really big brother picking on little brother. We're not supposed to even get involved what's going on in Ukraine. That's a civil war. We're not supposed to get involved. But here comes Biden, United States, sending missiles over there. And what the hell is the CIA doing in Ukraine? What the hell is the CIA doing in Ukraine? Just like when Gaddafi fell, the CIA set that up, paid all the rebels to take Gaddafi. The CIA was there when it came to 9/11. They don't want to orchestrate those bombs. When the towers are going down, you can hear it. It's the sequence, pop, 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 pop. Those are bombs. There wasn't no damn airplane that took down the Twin Towers. That was all orchestrated by the CIA, man. What was that? Central Intelligence Agency.
Yeah, Central Intelligence Agency.
CIA is, they're always there. When Martin Luther King, CIA was there. Yeah. Right? John F. Kennedy, CIA was there.
Involved, yeah.
CIA is the hitman of who? Of the United States government, man.
Real gangsters.
Mm-hmm. Escobar, CIA was there. Right? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, can I get Jeremiah 15:16?
50?
Yeah, chapter 15, 50:16.
So we gotta watch these movies, man. Some of these movies the scripture said they're gonna tell upon themselves. That's what my number one show is on Snowfall, right? How Ted, right? He was part of the CIA, was pushing drugs, cocaine into the community, where they figure out how to make cocaine into crack, right? And the CIA was used that money to sponsor who? To sponsor Ronald Reagan to help his administration at that time, helping presidents, right? Fund their campaigns and so on. When these presidents, or they try to go for presidency, when they have a campaign, they got so much money. Most of that goes to drug money, man. Most of that goes to drug money, man. Right? Drug money that came from Jakes, right? All the dope fiends and crackheads that's in Baltimore City, New York, Houston, all that money goes back to the government. They don't want to push drugs in the community and weapons in the community. They can stop drugs and weapons in the community like this overnight if they wanted to. But no, it's profit. Then they got the legal drugs that's in CNN. What's that? Venta, Prozac and all these, you know.
They tell you Tylenol.
Ozark.
Oh yeah, and Ozark too. That's right, right. There was a lady named Claire, where she had a pharmaceutical company. So where she get her drug from? She got it from who? From the cartel, right?
Wow.
She got it from the cartel,
Ironic.
right? So when you be this big company and you incorporate the drugs that's illegal, now when you work through this corporation, all of a sudden it's legal.
Yeah.
It showed you. Showing you some of these shows. You gotta watch some of these shows, man.
Yeah.
All right? Let's get
I think that's why I made this poem before. I said that's why porn is legal. Because porn could be, they make money off of that or whatever. But prostitution is illegal because it's under the table. They're not getting any profit from that. So whatever's profitable, that's what they're going to continue with. Same thing with weed. Weed was illegal at a time, but now I think in most states it's legal now because Esau can make money off the weed. Weed is profitable for them now. They never cared about your safety, about your health. They never cared about that. As long as they can make money for it, that's cool for them.
Yeah, that's why there's a lot of these CBD shops going on.
Yeah.
Because they used to lock a nigga up for a bag of weed back in the days and give him 5 years. But now, since they know how to make money off cannabis, now they made it legal now.
Yeah.
Right? So you got all them niggas that got arrested for a bag of weed. Them niggas got to get out of prison then. They got to get out of prison, man.
Yes, they go buy more weed.
That's right. And weed is a herb. Weed don't make you do stupid things where you can rob a bank, take niggas' tires off their car, crackheads, shit like that.
Yeah.
That's strung out. I didn't see that shit happen. Oh man, I smoked a joint. Let me go shoot.
Yeah.
I didn't see that shit. Yeah. Yeah. And the Most High created that. That's the medicine from the earth. And going back to what you were saying, how prostitution is illegal here because they don't know how to tax that pussy.
Right. Yeah.
If that's your pussy, why you know what I'm saying? You don't swipe it with a credit card and say, oh, the tax come out go to the government. Nah, that's your shit. Yeah. You got a counterclock on the vagina, like, you have 5 men for the week.
Yeah.
They got to tax you. They can't tax it. That's why.
Yeah, they can't tax it.
But in Germany, in those other countries in Europe, what was that? Prostitution is legal. Yeah, they got shops where you can just shop for a woman. Oh, I want that woman. She want her.
Yeah. There's countries like Germany. You said Germany. You ain't gonna have to pay $1,000 for the ambulance. And all that health care and all that is different out there. Education. America, you're paying for everything.
You don't get an ambulance ride because that's gonna be the most expensive ride in your life.
Yeah.
Right? That's gonna be the most expensive ride in your. How much they charge now? They charge about $350.
Yeah. Sooner or later we're gonna have oxygen though. You gotta pay $1 a day for oxygen.
Yeah. They already charge you for water.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to pay for water, man. These are necessities we need for day by day. Electricity wasn't something we was pay for either. If I'm correct, Nikola Tesla was trying to make it free. But once they got a hold of that energy source, they said you're going to have to pay that light bill. Yeah, you could
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why they want to give you the MOTB, so they can charge you for every little thing when you're MTV.
Oh, man.
Right, and the MOTB, once you get that, it might be a radius where you can only get gas close to your house. You can't go to Owens Mills to get gas.
Yeah.
Right? I forgot where I got that from. I think I read that in an article, right? So when you get the MOTB, there's going to be some major restrictions. You're going to have your retinal scan on there. You got your facial facial recognition, right? You're going to have your medical records. You're going to have your bank information. They're going to have everything. They're going to have your family member information if you take that MOTB, man.
It's scripture that said our people love to have it so. So that's why they're going to be the first ones to take it. Because everything got to be convenient for them. Oh, as long as I put this in my hand, I could do this and that. Oh, my car note ain't going to be cheaper. They're gonna flock to that like flies to flies to dung.
Yeah.
And Esau knows what he's doing to us. He makes it so hard for us. So You know, in a way, I'm not saying that we should take RFID chip. Obviously, we're not supposed to, according to how we outshop. But I understand why people probably would get that fast. They're probably in debt, you know, hard to provide for their family. So when this magical RFID chip comes out, and all they gotta do is put that in their hand, of course, the first thing that person's gonna do is, you know, a person that's not knowledgeable, you know, well, let me get it. Shoot, it's gonna be, if I could finally provide for my family, or if things gonna be easier for me, that's the first thing I'm gonna do. And that's how Esau's smart. He said he was wiser than Daniel. He's wise because he's good with advertising stuff. You know, he's good at advertising. Oh, you could do, all you gotta do is pay this much a month, and you can have this, or what, you know. Or McDonald's or Burger King, 2 for $6. Oh man, that's all I paid for 2 burgers. You know, when I go to this restaurant, I got paid $15 a burger. But remember, when you pay $15 a burger, you probably getting more of a high quality meat. That 2 for $6 you getting at Burger King, they probably just mixed that up in the lab and just gave it to you. It's probably not even meat.
Human DNA.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, but a lot of people is hip to the MOTB, man.
That's true.
That's why when you see shows like, I think shows like 100,
Yeah.
right? Different rebels that's not for the government, right? You see shows like Hunger Games, right? The poor was in down with the rich and Hunger Games, right?
That is true. Yeah, Maze
Yeah, Maze Runner. Elysium with Matt Damon.
Yeah,
the rich was on top. Elysium is a perfect example of how the Flintstones were. The Jetsons was living on top, and Flintstones was at the bottom because there was a nuclear holocaust on Earth, right? You got to remember, Jetsons and Flintstones was happening at the same time, right? That's the that's the cartoon version of Elysium. I think I'm pronouncing it right with Matt Damon, right? Yeah, man. So all these movies, man, he's showing you what's going on in these movies. Right? You don't have people that are gonna refuse to take the MOTD. Right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of tribulation those times.
Yeah, Handsmaid Tale.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, Handsmaid Tale, something like that. They got a series on it too. All right. Huh? Yeah, Resident Evil. Right? So these things is to come. Right? Just like when Star Trek first came out. They wasn't even born yet. But what's his name? I forgot his name. Oh my God.
Total Recall?
Talking about Star Trek.
Oh, Star Trek. My bad.
Star Trek was the first one that came with Motorola. Because they had the flip walkie-talkie.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Say Spock, whatever. Doc, whatever. Beam me up, Scotty. Right? They're like, yo, where they get that little devices from? Years later, when I was his age, they came with the flip-flop. The Motorola flip-flop. Yeah. So they show you things before it happened, man.
Yeah, it's true. Now the technology advanced. Now we got the iPhone 13. You know, different forms of Androids. You know, cars. Technology in cars. You know, I watched an old movie the other day. I watched it with him. It was with Sandra Bullock. I think it was called The Net.
Oh, The Net.
Yeah, The Net. There was a phone in the car. I didn't know it was that old. I think she was driving a BMW. She had the phone in the car. And now almost every car you got Bluetooth, your aux cord, you connect your phone, your contacts is in there. You know, all you gotta do is click on the screen. Oh, I want to call this person. Or you can talk to the car. Hey, call mommy, call daddy. And, you know, that's all you gotta do.
Yeah, I ain't seen nothing yet. But that is what was the government was after her?
Yeah, that's right.
It was tapping her line?
It was showing how they could erase your
Enemy of the state.
Yeah,
enemy of the state.
Yeah, and the Net, they was showing how they changed her ID. You know, they made it seem like she was someone else. You know, they could do that in a flip. You know, they could do it in a snap of a finger. You know, so she had to get her identity back. You know, she had to go on the Net, and she had to, you know, basically, you know, revert what they did to her identity. Because anytime, you know, she would use her ID or something, they say, oh, you're not who you say you are. They don't say that in the system. You know, and that's the Beast of Belgium, right?
That's right. And that's why they're trying to push out the MOTB, because they want to keep track of all your spending, right? With dollars, you know, hey, yo, let me get that product. Let me give you $5. They can't track that, but they could track that If you take that MOTB, they be able to track every little thing. Every little thing. If you having sex with your girl, they be able to track that. Wherever you at, they gonna track.
And it scientifically makes sense because that RFID chip is gonna be in your blood. So when a person
don't say that. MOTB.
I mean, man. Slovakia. The MOTB, hopefully we don't get flagged now. I forgot I couldn't say that. Yeah, the MOTB, if it's in your skin or whatever, you know, a person their adrenaline goes up, they're gonna be able to read those levels. So that makes sense. You know, when a person has sex, you know, their adrenaline levels go up, it spikes up. So they're gonna be able to tell by what the person is doing just by those levels. You know.
Yeah. When you do that?
Jeremiah 50:16.
Jeremiah 50 verse 16. It said, "Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handled the sickle in the time of harvest. For the fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn every one of his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land."
That's right. So it's cut off the sower from Babylon. Another word for sower is harvester. So that was back then, but modern time harvesters would be these jobs that we have. You know, people that work blue collar, white collar. Whether you're doing labor, whether you're behind a desk, you know, you're basically a harvester in America. Maybe a house that cut off the soil from Babylon, and that's what we're seeing with these unemployment rates. You know, it's not as high right now, but it's steadily getting there. Your house said what he said it would surely come in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So you know we just gotta wait for it because it would surely come. So you know, like they're predicting, this guy Dr. Doom, that he predicted the 2008 crash. He said 2023 is going to be a recession. You know, we're going to see more of a recession by then. And what he's saying makes sense because I've talked to people in sales and people that work in jobs like that. They said the economy's not looking good for them. That by next year it's going to be hard for them to sell their product. You know?
Yeah. Hey, the scripture said, "Why gain the world and lose your soul?" Because the MOTB, man, you got the gains, you got the how should I say? You got the benefits of this world or whatever. You get access to water, access to food if you take the MOTB, but you're gonna lose your soul in the process. All right, like a lot of these celebrities, they already lost their soul, man. They lost their soul. Why gain the world and lose your soul? You already received your cancellation, right? So all these actors and actresses, they gone, man. You forget about them, man. You know, now they came with Kanye West. Now he's anti-Semitic, right? Anti means against. Semitic goes back to Shem. How the hell you could be against yourself?
That don't make no sense.
Right? Well, he was really speaking against them rats, them top hat rats. Right? They not the real Jews, that the Negroes and the Latinos. He was really saying that we are the real Jews. So now they label him as crazy. Right? When he got the shirts when white lives matter, those are all tactics to keep yourself irrelevant. That's why Snoop Doggy Dogg is a man. Is the man because he know how to keep himself irrelevant. After a while, people start to forget you. Unless you do something stupid or you get involved in this, like, oh, it's you. You know what I'm saying? So now they trying to blackball Kanye West. I think one of the top banks that he was dealing with don't want nothing to do with him. But hey, the banks is run by the Zionists, the Jewish rats. The top hat, right?
So you really gotta look behind the curtain.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't want to get involved with Kanye for what he said. But Nick Cannon said the same thing, but he sold his soul and he went back. Nick Cannon was snapping at that bullshit. He spoke against the top hat, but you know they threatened him or whatever the case might be. You know they gave his show wilded out because he apologized like a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? I think J. Cole and those guys. I think J. Cole was another one. There was another brother, not J. Lamar. Is it Lamar? No, another rapper. Kendrick Lamar. He was speaking about that with the chosen people, but he got snatched back in. I said, "Hey, nigga, you better watch yourself, right?" Because he was saying that we are the chosen people. Yeah, so that's why the scripture said, "Why gain the world and lose your soul?" You gained the world, you got it back, but you lost your soul. You know.
I agree. Isaiah 19:15. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. mean, yeah, you can have it all now, you know, in a way, but you know, you really gotta think of people. You know, our people just they're not good at thinking about the future terms of things.
Yeah, like Martin Luther King, right? Just reverse, like people like Malcolm X, because by any means necessary. But before Martin Luther King died, he realized that his people was a chosen people. He said, we might go to. He said we go to the mountaintop, but I might not get there with you.
Yeah.
What he was saying, that was subliminal. That was subliminal. He's telling his people that you're the chosen people, right? And before he died, he said, "Damn, I think I put my people. I led my people into a burning building, man." Well, Malcolm X, when he went to Mecca, right? He was saying that the blue eye and pale skin is his brother. So it was really reversed. Martin Luther King was snapping out that bullshit, but Martin Luther King went back into that trance. Not went back, but he was saying that the white man was his brother. You know what I'm saying? Right. You ask any nigga, say, Malcolm X is the man. Nah, it's really the other way around. Martin Luther King was snapping at that bullshit. That's why they put a bullet in his head, huh? The CIA had to take him out. He had too much power. What about Marcus Garvey? He said, nigga, was that Pan-Africanism, bring our economy within? Marcus Garvey, you gotta go. We gotta put you in a fucking boat and go back to your country. And he died in what? In Jamaica. Anytime a brother or sister rise, they either buy them out or they take them out. Right?
That's true.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Because you know what some of these people are saying is the truth. Right? Israelites that's waking the brothers and sisters in the four corners of the earth. We ain't sell out soul. We ain't sell out soul now. So if Kanye West was coming out here with a garment, they would take him out real quick.
You wouldn't make it.
They would take him out real
You
quick.
wouldn't make it out the car.
Yeah? I can't tell Jay-Z, Jay-Z put a garment there going, Jay-Z is in too deep. Right? Jay-Z is in too deep. But the Most High could wake these brothers up just like that. He put that message through Kanye West. He put that message in his mouth just like that. The Lord could do that.
Probably DMX too.
Yeah, DMX. DMX was listening to the brothers over there, what's that, HRI? In Atlanta, before he died. And he was out there for at least 30 to 45 minutes, listening to the truth. And most DMX lyrics is biblical, man.
Yeah.
It's biblical. I think he got a song about it. He hate faggots.
Yeah, he
That's
did.
the name of that song. He was getting
He
in.
showed no love to the homo love.
Yeah, yeah. Was it with a hood at? Yeah, with a hood at. Yup. He got on faggots, man. He couldn't stand them. And that's the right spirit. He used to quote Psalms 23 in his rap song, man.
Whitney Houston did too.
Huh?
Whitney.
Yeah, Whitney Houston too. Right? What you got?
Alright, yeah, I was seeing the DMX thing. Yeah, you really looked at it, yeah, Isaiah 19:15. Yeah.
Isaiah 19. Isaiah 19:15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch, or rush may do.
And then we know.
In that day shall Egypt be like unto woman, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shake over it. That's why he was saying that one of his co-worker, a white man, said, hey, what's going on with America? The economy is going down. I never seen it like this. America's finished, man. America's done. That's why a lot of people's panhandling in these days, man. That's why people living in tent. California, this is a tent city where people, they got a certain community where people living in their tent. San Francisco, a lot of homeless people. I went to San Diego not too long ago, right? There was homeless people in San Diego. Beautiful place, but it's, you know, so what they're doing, what Biden is doing is getting rid of the middle class. Either you're poor or either you're rich.
Yeah, that's right.
The middle class is finished, man.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. Yeah,
So
shit,
he's Trump?
Huh?
That's what you saying? He's
No, I
Trump?
said Biden.
He's Trump?
Yeah, what about Trump?
That's what you saying?
I ain't said nothing about Trump. I said Biden.
No. Listen, bro. I know the Bible back and forth.
Uh-huh.
Forth to back.
No, they closed, man.
feel me?
They closed.
And I'm gonna say this.
It's closed. It's closed.
So
They were still working on it.
you talking about Biden, Trump, Obama, all them.
Yeah, what about them?
That man right there.
Yeah, God, what's up?
Main thing.
Yeah, that's what we're preaching. All right.
Biden never got that.
Yeah.
Go, Charlie.
Yeah, like you said, yeah, these jobs gonna be shut down, and I got another article here. It says the owners of 107.
Salakia, it was a nut that just passed by.
Yeah, little
Yeah,
interference.
it's showing his intelligence.
Yeah, a little disturbance in the computer
What
program.
little that is.
The zeros and ones a little discombobulated.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So back to the job
That
thing.
fool that walking by the way.
Yeah. Fool that walk by the way.
Fool that walking by the way.
Say you argue a fool, you become a fool, right?
Yeah, go ahead, son.
Yeah. So back to the jobs thing. It says the owners of a 107-year-old grocery store that survived the Great Depression feared they'll have to close up shop. It says a Pennsylvania mom and shop deli struggling to stay afloat as food prices soared. A Pennsylvania grocery store that survived the Great Depression is struggling to stay afloat as the cost of staple items continue to rise. Owners of the grocery deli, Charlene and Allen, discussed their fears. They fear that rising inflation will force them to shutter their 107-year-old business. It's getting tougher and tougher as the prices are rising, and we have problems getting some products delivered that we first ordered them. We're trying to keep our heads above the water. That's what you said earlier about people keeping their heads above the water. Yes, these people this store has been around for 107 years. 107 years. This shows the economy's getting bad. They're shutting down. They survived the Great Depression. So this has to be getting worse than the Great Depression. If they're shutting down their shop, these prices are just getting that high. You know, and that's what's getting affected first. The little mom and pop shops, the little small shops, they're gonna get affected first. Sooner or later, though, these big businesses they're gonna have to shut down. You know, I mean, like you said before, Walmart shut down. They're gonna use that for concentration camps. You know, that's all that food, all those items. That's gonna be empty. You know, it's gonna be barren. Keep giving me. That's what scripture is trying to bring out the 2nd Ezra 15 verse 15 to 19.
Second Ezra?
Yeah, 15 to 19.
Second Ezra 15 through 19. It said, for the sword of their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
You read 16 now. 16 now explain.
For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor prince, and the courts of their actions shall stand in their power.
Yes, it's going to be race wars. It's going to be riots. You know, it's going to be people fighting against another. You know, our people going to wake up when we fight against the other nations. And all these nations going to be fighting against the government. Jesus said what? They're not going to regard their kings or prince. So they're not going to care if it's the U.S. Army or I'm going to say the Army. And they're not going to care if it's the police force, if it's the president. You know, the people going to get angry. They're going to get angry with America. So there's going to be a lot of riots. You know, people going to fight against one another. You know, and we've seen small tastes of that. People get mad at the government, whatever. But you know, then they push more money to the economy. You know, they try to keep the economy afloat.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember that movie.
Yeah.
And we watched it. I don't know the kids remember. It's called Rollover. When there was protesting and the government, they were protesting against the government because that's what sedition means, rebellion against the what? Against the government.
That's right.
When their money was gone from their bank's account. And the Lord gonna have to do that, get rid of these niggas' money from their bank account to stir these niggas up. Because these niggas don't know what the hell was coming. I read an article, if these niggas know what was coming, it will be protests in every city.
Yeah.
But these niggas got their food, You know, they got their water, they got their shelter, they good.
They got their charger.
But once that be eradicated, and once their money vanished from their bank account, these motherfuckers is panic. Right? And these bitches that got degrees, I got my degree. Fucking nose in the cloud, like, yo, took the nose in the cloud, like, you can talk to me.
Yeah, they get their
right?
eyelashes done, the nails done.
Yeah.
You know, their weaves, and they play Ice Spice in City Girls.
Yeah.
You know, and that's cool for them. You know, they don't. If they really knew what was going on, though, they would have a different mindset.
Yeah, fucking degree ain't gonna save you.
Yeah.
I got a degree. I'm untouchable.
Yeah.
Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. That ain't gonna do none of that. Take that degree, wipe your ass with it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's hard for you to wipe your ass anyway with them long nails. So I know you're not getting the crevices.
No, that's crazy though, because you in school for 10, 20 years just for a piece of paper.
Yeah.
It's crazy how this system works. You in high school, middle school, all these years just for a diploma.
Yeah. The higher your degree, the higher your top coolness is.
Yeah.
You're a top cool.
Top slave.
Cool ass niggas.
You're the #1 slave of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the word sedition means a conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or a monarch. You know, that's right in the scriptures. It talks about sedition. And the movie that predicted that is, I believe, Dark Knight Rises. The people were rising up against the government.
Shit, they had that in X-Men. One of the X-Men, when it was in front of the government, they were protesting.
Oh, yeah, about the mutants.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, X-Men showed it.
Yeah.
You know, Dark Knight Rise, you know, there was, you know, the people was literally ruling. You know, they was tired of the government or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's what X-Men was about, where a group of individuals come together with power.
Yeah.
Because when you see the X-Men, the old X-Men, people was rising against the government.
Right.
So there was a group of people fighting for the people, which was Xavier, right? Xavier was really for the people.
Yeah.
Right?
For the humans.
And Magneto was like, yo,
Yeah.
Xavier, join us, man. Fuck these peasants, fuck these niggas. We got power.
Yeah.
Let's take over the world. You know what I'm saying? Which Magneto was really in the right state of mind. Magneto's really the good guy. Xavier is for the government.
Yeah. Optimus Megatron. Yeah.
Right?
Optimus Prime and Megatron.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Optimus and what's that? Megatron.
Megatron's for the he don't care about the humans. You know, he's for his people. He want to bring his people back.
Yup.
Optimus is about saving the humans.
That's when you see Superman, I forgot the name of the movie, when three of them came from right? Because three of them, they was the villain, but Superman was for the people.
Yeah. Zod.
But Zod, yeah, that's right. Zod is like, yo, man, fuck these weaklings, man. Come on,
Yeah.
we got power. You know what I'm saying? That's Israelites. Israelites gonna have power, right? Yeah, we the chosen people of God. That's what Zod was about. That's what Megatron was about. That's what Bane is about. That's what Magneto's about. Right? But they labeled them as villains and bad guys.
Right.
But really, they was for their own people.
That's right. It's for their own people. I think Magneto and Charles Xavier, that was inspired by by Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. You know, because it's kind of the same thing right there. Martin Luther King was originally, I know he changed at the end, but he was originally about integration, getting our people to be his whole speech, the boys going up the hill, and Malcolm X was originally about segregation, keeping us separate. Which when he was in that state of mind, until he called the white man his brother, that was the right state of mind to be in.
Black Panther was really the sellout, and the one that fell off the cliff. What's his name? Michael B. Jordan. Killmonger. Killmonger's really. Killmonger's like, yo, let's do us. Us.
Yeah, that's right.
Fuck them heathens.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Then I think Black Panther gave some of his what's that?
Vibranium.
Yeah, vibranium to the so-called white man, right?
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing you do. Y'all always said, what it says, Sirach 12:10 said, never trust thine enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Never trust thine enemy. Why do you need to open, in a fictional sense, why do you need to open Wakanda? This place has all these valuable resources. Y'all living good. Why does it need to be open to America? America's a piece of crap compared to Wakanda.
Yeah, because he was oblivious and ignorant to the evil of the so-called white man.
Right.
If they get a hold of all of that, what's that? Vibranium, they can destroy the earth. Chaos.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't put us like that in the hands of the white
That's
man.
why Kilmer was like, yo, keep this shit for ourselves. Keep it right here.
Yeah. You go back to second address. You go verse 17.
Oh, okay. Verse 17, 2nd Ezra 15, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Right? It said, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. You know what this remind me of? Remind me of, not Walking Dead. That too. Quiet. What's that? Quiet?
Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
Yeah.
It was designed to go to another city. You couldn't. If they make noise, you know what I'm saying? Because those monsters had them sonic hearing, man.
Yeah.
They can hear a pin drop, like, you know?
Miles away.
Yeah. So these directors, they know the scriptures, but they gotta add their demonic twist to it.
Yeah.
You gotta add their demonic twist to it, man.
You know, it's kind of like those creatures, kind of like the angel of death. If you think about it. Because in Egypt, you know, the darkness. I mean, the angel of death was over Egypt. You know, it took them out. Those creatures kind of like that. They're like angels of death. You know, carrying out Yahweh's vengeance. And those, I mean, that's kind of scriptural though, because in Wisdom of Solomon it talks about those beasts of indignation. You know, different creatures. You know, that's always in a quiet place, man.
Yeah, that's what scriptures that at?
Wisdom of Solomon. I'm about to do a part 2 to this.
Some sun was created for a day of vengeance.
Yeah.
Right? Sirach.
Yeah, I don't got my physical. I'm trying to look it up. It's in Wisdom of Solomon about the different creatures, right?
No, it's a spirit was created for a day of vengeance. I think it's a rock.
Okay, that's not the Sirach. Sirach 39:28.
Okay, you break it down. Sirach 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sword strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made him.
That's right.
Right? Hold on. It said fire and hell, famine and death. All these are created for vengeance. Right? It said teeth of wild beasts, the movie you was talking about, and scorpions, serpents of the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
Yeah, so there'd be a question like, oh, why do Yahweh create, you know, if Yahweh is such a loving God, you know, for people who are not knowledgeable, why did he create stuff like spiders or famine, pestilence? Yahweh created good, he created evil. He created evil, you know, to destroy, you know, those things that are wicked. You know, that's why that's why in a quiet place, those creatures going out just taking out everything.
That's right.
You know, a person make a move, take them out. You know, that's what America's gonna be like. America's gonna be full of wild beasts. Ain't gonna be no one to inhabit the place.
Yeah, just like Tomorrow's War with Chris Pratt.
Oh, yes.
I gotta see that movie again. I gotta see that movie.
That's a perfect example, though.
You know, but those animals, you know, those are really angels of Yahweh. But they don't attack on the Sabbath day.
Yeah,
they said, yo,
there's one day when they wouldn't do nothing.
Yo, they're making mockery of us. Yeah. They don't attack on the Sabbath day. But after the Sabbath, it was an alien invasion.
Yeah.
Wow. I gotta see that movie again.
Yeah, that was a good movie though. Yeah, they were definitely bringing out that indignation, man.
I see that tomorrow.
Yeah.
On the big screen.
That's why sometimes like what happened in 2014 when that I think it was a kid or somebody got attacked by that gorilla. They took out the gorilla. He was named Harambe. That's why sometimes these Edomites get attacked by these bears, these lions. How would we send them these animals against them, man? You know, lion probably take out a few of them. You know, that's all Yahweh right there. And that's the spirit of vengeance right there.
Yeah, I think that was with Val Kilmer. It was that darkness something.
Yeah,
Val Kilmer, when the lions was attacking Hamites back then. Wasn't the name of that movie? You remember Darkness something? It was a good movie, and they had another one with Iris Elba with her two daughters. So the Most High could do that. He could turn a beast spirit up to kill humans, right? They did it in 2nd Ezra chapter 17 when the Samaritans,
Oh.
the Samaritans had to come in our land and take over our laws and statutes and commandments and be in the land of Israel. What did the Most High did? He turned up a lion spirit and was killing them Hamites. So the Most High could do that, turn up an animal spirit. You can make an animal talk.
The movies are The Ghost in the Darkness.
Yes. They got situations where animal could save a human. The Most High does that.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's pick a guinea pig trying to save your ass.
Yeah.
He's about his belly.
Yeah.
A guinea pig trying to save him.
Ain't no carrot, ain't no help.
I mean, with the Lord could do anything.
Yeah, he can talk. Yeah, he can talk to you. Yeah.
Guinea pig is about his belly.
Yeah, we'll go back to 2nd Ezra. I think you was on
Oh, my
first.
bad. 2nd Ezra 15?
Yeah, what verse? Oh, you was on. You just finished reading 17. I'm about to read 18 to 19.
2nd Ezra 15, 18 through 19. But because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. And men shall have no pity upon his neighbor, and shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation.
That's the punch right there. It says for a lack of bread. When these people don't have jobs, how they gonna put bread on the table? How they gonna put money on the table? You know, so that lack of bread is gonna lead to a famine. Yeah, especially among the minorities, because you know the rich they're gonna have for a good amount of time. But the poor and the middle class is really gonna suffer. You know, there's gonna be a lot of unemployment. The employment rate is gonna go higher and higher.
Cannibalism.
Cannibalism. It's gonna be a great tribulation.
Yeah.
You know, just like that scripture where the woman ate the other woman's baby, and then she hit her own child. You know, it was in Walking Dead with the I forgot, the sanctuary or something. They was just taking bodies. They was chopping them, cutting their necks, chopping them up, and that was their food right there. You know, making human burgers, human barbecue. You know, but that's really when crack is the fan right there. When people are eating each other. You know,
It's coming.
we come to a stopping point, or I don't know how much more to bring out.
Oh, shit.
I don't know, you want to hear a precept on it?
Yeah, we can do one more precept.
Time go fast.
Yeah,
man.
it do. It really do. It was just like 10:35.
Yeah. When you're in that spirit and when you're into the words,
Yeah.
time just
And things just come out. When you first think about the lesson, I'm gonna talk about this and that, and everything just comes to your head when you actually bring it out.
because a lesson open doors
Yeah.
for the brother or brothers in the camp.
Yeah.
They open doors. 'Cause everybody got input,
So let's just like blueprint. We can end with Isaiah 47. I guess 1 to 3. Yeah, America. The title of it was America is at its end. You know, we're seeing it. Like I said, we don't know the day or time. Hey, maybe it could be 2030. I mean, I hope it's not. But if it is, you know, America, you got something you still got something to think about. You know, enjoy your enjoy your 6 cars in your garage, your 12 cars you got, your 2 properties, 2 mansions. You know, that's coming to an end.
That's right. Isaiah 47, 1 through 3. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take thy millstone and grind meal. Uncover thy locks. Make bare the legs. Uncover the thigh. Pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Right.
And for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts, is his name, the Holy One of Israel. But I like that verse 3, man. It said,
I will not meet thee. Yeah.
it said, I will not meet thee as a man. So he come in his celestial body. It's going to be celestial and terrestrial. He's not coming in the body that he had before.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
He's not meeting me as a man. He's meeting America with the economy, and He's meeting America with pestilence. You know, these nuclear tests. America's scared because they see that these other countries are doing nuclear test after test. I was gonna get into that. I was going to bring that next time. You know, so that's how Yahweh's meeting America. You know, he's meeting him through these events. Shoot, what was there? A tsunami? What just happened in Florida? Was it Florida? It was the hurricane. Yeah, the hurricane. Yeah, that's Yahweh's vengeance. Yep, his spirit of vengeance right there.
Yeah. It said he said he's gonna bring tempest and storm. When you look at the word tempest, it means a violent storm. Yeah, so that tempest was violent on was that seacoast of Florida, man. All praises to Bashim
All praises.
And over there, Murder Beach got slaughtered too. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the Most High doing, man. So that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right. So we give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rakadash, Yahweh honors to the apostles of Ruel, shout out to the brothers in the four corners of the earth, and death to America, death to Esau, 2/3, these heathens, and these flaming fairies. Burn, Bonky boy, burn!
So long.
Follow.